there's the show of respect. Can he avoid the big chop kick? And of course, it's like rock, scissors, paper. The chop kick doesn't like the back kick and vice versa. So there's the head kick straight away from Sajid Mardani. Inkyodon crouching down, using those shoulder movements to try and bemuse and confuse. Good cover from the Korean.
I like the pace that's being set right now. 2-0 for the Iranian right now. Yeah, probably a well-deserved deduction on this one. This is starting out very different than last year's Grand Slam final between the two. Last year's Grand Slam final, much slower pace, feeling each other out. I think both men are pretty confident going into this one. Indonkyo shaking off a painful clash. I think we can all relate to one of those if you've ever been in the ring. They're the worst.
That one did look particularly tasty. It takes a lot to stop him. Good strength in the clinch there from the Korean. Shook that one off. Stock steady, the Korean in the centre. And as you say, Stephen, a real fight already, not wasting any time.
A lot of lights on that punch too, just not quite enough to put the point on the board. But again, it's always that there's got to be 1 or 2 punches to wake up the judges, and now we're ready for it.
Well, ready for business as we go into the business end of this final here. Halfway through the first round. Inkyodon has a little fly look at the time there. Sajid Mardani goes with a push kick to the body instead. And after that frenetic pace, the heavyweight's just slowing it down. Little twisting kick.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for being over 80 kilograms. Pushing that welterweight pace we saw there at the beginning, not quite as easy to do, but I don't think we're going to have the bounce out at the end of the round like we have the last couple of heavyweight matches, because it seems like both these men are taking no prisoners today.
As you say, taking no prisoners, trying to take some shots on the board. Inkyodon shuffling round, looks for the back leg turning kick. A little block this time. He goes down to capitalise, and he'll make sure that Gamjon is given. Doesn't need any medical timeout, and the Oscar
under him are not strong enough, and so those clashes just, they hurt exponentially, and not only that, they're dangerous for athletes.
Yep. And that will be reviewed because the protector system and the uniform's under evolution, but it's certainly not been perfect. It's been a perfect start though for Sajid Mardani. Finishes with a flourish there. And the big man from Iran goes back to his corner, having been points down, Stephen. The last final, that's against Great Britain's Bradley Sinden, the men's 68s, which is of course preceded by the women's under 67s. What a battle. Matea Jelic and Ruth Bagby await in that one, but it's all about the heavyweight men here in round number 2. Korea against Iran. Inkyodon points down in this one, and both men eyeballing each other in the center.
Yeah, if I'm Korea, he's tried that back leg a couple of times. Trying for that eagle, as we've called it, looking for the turn, that classic Inkyodon's classic turn. It's rewarded him so much in the past. Yep, that's a punch that should have scored. Probably should have scored that one at the end of the first round. Judges making it up to him on that one for sure.
Yeah, as you say, in amongst the frenetic pace, the expansive kicking, it was the power punch that puts himself on the board. Both coaches looking on earnestly and eagerly. Where, of course, in the second of 3 rounds, although this could go to golden score the way it's shaping up at the moment. Big punch again there.
Huge punch. I don't think there was quite enough extension on it, not enough noise. Right timing, just needs to turn that shoulder over a little bit more, and he's going to get rewarded for it every time.
Good back leg turning kick from Inkyodon. Response likewise from Sajid Mardani. Both men sharing the heat and sharing the intensity. The mouth hanging open from the Korean as he slips in for the punch and takes the solace of the clinch for a couple of seconds. And that match management really helping him so far. Sajid Mardani, super experienced. The 31-year-old bringing the quality. Can he make it to yet another Olympic Games? These ranking points would certainly help.
Beautiful under that front leg. That's trying for that notorious axe kick, barely avoided it, got his arm in the way. 10 seconds left, a lot of pressure going on. Judges not rewarding that punch, not quite enough extension on it.
Well, speaking of extension, we're extending towards the dying embers of this second round. Time ticks down, and Inkyodon, this time he gives the little nod to say next summer, but here in the winter in Moscow. Both men just taking their time. turning on the engine. There's the back leg turning kick, big chop kick over the shoulder. Good evasion again from the Korean.
Yep, that's his specialty. Just when you think you're going to hit him right as you throw that kick, he's just slightly gone and firing right back at you. It's why he's so deadly.
Good back leg turning kick, front leg response from Maردani, again avoided by Inkyodon. And he's a bit lucky to get away with that one. Yeah. I think he looked quite happy with that.
I think both of them tapped the helmet, actually. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, it still breaks out even, but it's not usually that lucky. Good pressure by the Korean. I like that, not letting Iran just bear down on him. Leaning in just a little bit, that way he can take it away, make Iran kick short, and then make him suffer for it.
The big suffering is from the big reverse turning kick. Inkyodon, he also takes a little clip in the face accidentally from Sajid Maردani, but nothing questionable or accidental about that reverse turning kick there, Stephen.
Nope, that was beautiful. That turn to the body's been paying off for him. Yeah, he's going to need a medical timeout on. Sajad's got his work cut out for him. 11-5, the Korean leads with 1:15 left. This is about to be a huge one.
Good push kicks to the body, back leg turning kick shared by both men. Sajid Maردani turning up the intensity, as you see, halfway through this third round.
Trying for that turn. We got to go for big points at this point. Judges not rewarding that punch. There was a lot of sound, maybe not enough turned over, but the Korean going straight back in for that punch, not letting Iran control the show. I think that's the key to winning here.
Good big back leg, as you say, the key to winning, but the key to opening that door has been Inkyodon with yet another headshot.
That's why he's so impressive. It's not just these power shots. He also does those finesse shots at just the most awkward time, and it's Iran trying for that axe kick that he's notorious for.
Yeah, as you say, World Taekwondo President Dr. Chung Won Cho watching on here. Korean compatriot doing so well. As you say, that finesse to match the speed and power. As he runs down the clock, half a minute to go here.
Yep, 29 seconds, leading 14-6. Korea just trying to get his foot in the way, let Iran run into it, let Iran do all the work. Just watch your head, because he's looking for that axe kick. Another turn to the face. Beautiful timing, taking advantage of that mismatch in space and distance. Take that deduction for the 5-point spin any day of the week.
Well, will it be the win from the big spin for the Korean? Inkyodon, he's come over insurmountable odds in his life before. He's going to overcome Sajid Maردani, who's trying to push forward here. The clock is against him, as is the Korean master. He's been leaning in. He's been letting his shoulders loose. He's been throwing the fakes, the big reverse turning kicks, the big 5-point shots on the board. And it will be a big, big win for Inkyodon. Yet again, he'll take that gam jump all week, and indeed he will take a step up onto the top of the podium. It's going to be punctuated by a video review, because the Islamic Republic of Iran not happy with the gam jump given for that. Not really that important to the context of the match. Let's have a little summary, Stephen, of your thought. Yeah, I think that's the only thing. The card pocketed, but the only thing that is guaranteed to be pocketed at the end of this one. Inkyodon will shut things down, happy to take yet another gam jump, as he closes out on a superb performance here. Sajid Maردani has run his race, and the man that he's been chasing is going to go off into the distance with yet another success. Inkyodon showing his quality.